What's up guys? I brought Forged Bodywork to Trident Wellness Solutions and I received a very positive testimony, so I want to share my techniques. My client requested a glute and trapezius focused bodywork session, so here's how I delivered. I started off with her glutes using a 50-pound roller, and then I inclined the roller vertically onto her gluteus medius in order to loosen up tight hips. This technique is phenomenal when your goal is to ease up tension in the glutes. I hold the pressure for as long as my client needs. In her case, it was about 2 minutes for each glute, and then I incorporated some hip mobility drills to improve flexibility. Here, I'm repeating the same technique as I did on the other side. At this point, I could already feel that her body was letting go of the tension, which is great. After I let the roller do the work, I dove into some target tempering. This is where body tempering gets incredibly intense, and it is imperative that when you are tempering people that you regulate their nervous system first before applying pressure to their body. I like to regulate my client's nervous system by doing a 4-in, 6-out breathing technique, and this allows their parasympathetic nervous system to become intact so that the body fully relaxes. These rogue rollers, the one that I have is 50 pounds, stimulate the back muscles very comfortably because there's a crevice in the center, making space for the spinal cord. This technique right here is called throttling. I slowly work my way up, moving on the exhale until I reach the traps. Once we feel that the muscles are primed, then we get started on targeting. I like to have my rod horizontally just so that the rhomboids can get a firm stimulation, and then I dive in using the point. The same breathing technique takes place here. I have my client inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 6, and as they're exhaling, I apply the pressure, like so. This spot on the back and the precise pressure is what helps people's posture improve. I felt it in myself, and other people will testify as well. I have a few clips here showing the decompression that my client was going through. You can literally see the change in level in her back as she's exhaling. And when I'm using the instrument, I'm making sure that I'm targeting specific spots that have knots or any sort of tension. In this clip, you can see the rod sinking in almost 1/2 inch, which is an excellent sign of release. Once I finished alongside of her vertebrae, I got started on the scaps. This arm positioning allows me to get under the scapula so that it really unlocks. Once again, I'm continuing on with the same technique and breathing pattern. With every exhale that she has is the exact moment that I apply pressure. Now that I felt her muscles were primed, I went in with a smaller instrument. In this clip, I applied roughly 5 pounds. And then I led into the lats. This is where deep tissue therapy comes into play, and a lot of it is dynamic drills, mobility drills, and manual compression therapy. The instrument that I led into is hollow, so it's not even a pound, but then I added this roughly 8-pound rod, and I got to work. Here I'm using my thumb to soften and separate the lats so that it can move more freely, and I do that until it feels like jello. These techniques are excellent when it comes to recovering your fascia, which is the system in your body that holds absolutely everything together. And I'm repeating the same techniques as I did with the other side before I dive into the trapezius muscle. Of course, I start by throttling and rolling out the traps first, and then once I feel that it's primed, I dive into some target tempering. I ask my clients to do slow and controlled chin to chest movements where they exhale on the way down and inhale on the way up. Now that I've let my instruments do most of the work, I go in with some biofreeze and I knock out some manual compression therapy. Where I'm using my thumb was where she had a tight spot that accumulated over time, and then I finished out with some more tempering. I made sure that I traced all up on the neck. I hope you guys enjoyed watching these recovery techniques as much as I loved doing them. I'll be back with more recovery. See you later.